What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 66 of JK Sports Talk. Today, I'm here with another special guest, guard out of UCSD, freshman guard Hudson Mays. Hudson, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. So, you guys know the drill. We're going to ask him some questions about his basketball journey, his college career, and just other fun facts about him. So, let's get started. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, first question. You grew up in Los Angeles. So, what role did basketball play in just shaping who you are today?
It's definitely a big role. Obviously, I've been playing all my life. I was introduced to it at a young age. My dad played professional football, so ironically, they wouldn't actually let me play tackle football until high school. So
Yeah.
basketball was kind of alternate. My grandfather played for the Pacers, so I kind of had a lineage of that on my mother's side. But yeah, it was kind of just the first sport and the main sport I was introduced to, and that kind of just led the way to me playing that along with other sports. But like throughout high school, that was kind of the main one. So that
Yeah.
kind of shapes who I hang around. Who I affiliate myself with. So.
Yeah. So you transferred from Fairfax High to Redondo Union. So how did each environment help you grow as a player and a person?
Fairfax it's definitely a big difference from Redondo. First, it was in a different part of LA. Definitely the more central part, kind of where Melrose and all those kind of big places are near the Grove. So it's definitely in a different environment. More what I was used to, kind of growing up. Um, so it was definitely different, but making that change to Redondo, it was a bit of a culture shock. Near the beach, it's like almost the exact opposite from kind of in the middle of LA. Um, but yeah, it was good for me, good for me to adapt to a new environment. Um, didn't know a lot of people in the new school. I transferred along with I think two of my previous teammates at Fairfax. So it was just us three for the first couple months on our own. But
Yeah.
it was good for me. I don't like staying in being in the whole same environment my whole life. I think it's good to have some sort of change. So that was kind of good to help me kind of grow as a person and a basketball player, which it worked out to do really well.
Yeah, definitely. So you mentioned before how your family has just a huge sports legacy. Your grandfather said he was in the ABA. He was a legend.
Yeah.
And how has that influenced your approach to basketball?
Growing up, hearing about, I never got to meet him. Obviously, he died before I was born. But growing up, watching the documentary they made on him when I was like, before I, it was like before I could even fathom what it like really was. Hearing that he was in the Hall of Fame, my mom, my grandma told me stories about him. That kind of just inspired me to kind of take basketball farther for sure. Um, Kind of take like a another step with it. But honestly, like seeing all the videos, seeing all the clips, hearing from his former teammates, Uncle Mel, God rest his soul, Uncle Darnell, all those guys. Just hearing how he played kind of honestly shaped my game. Um, and anyone who sees me play or has seen me play in high school throughout now is kind of draws parallels to how he did. So he kind of served as um, a model in terms of his game more than anything, because that's a lot of the stuff I could pull from. So just kind of hearing all those like stories and kind of seeing the type of player he was kind of just led the way for me, to be honest.
Yeah. Next few questions talking about your college career so far. So in your first game, you dropped 12 points, 8 rebounds, and multiple steals. So how did it feel just making an impact right away for your team?
No, it's big. Definitely got got the first game nervous since out the game before the exhibition game. So that was really good. Good for me to kind of come into the our first actual game, kind of hitting the ground running. But I mean, my approach this whole year is just kind of when I am on the floor, I'm not gonna complain about how much I play. I'm not gonna complain about, when I play. I'm just gonna go out there and do what I know how to do in the time that I have. So kind of just make the most out of the opportunity. That's kind of my whole mindset this whole year. So defense, defense and rebounding first. That's what my high school coach told me. Coach Morris, all 4 years. That's how I got on the floor in high school. So I'm gonna take the same approach in college. Just play hard. I think defense is an effort thing. So if you could go out there and just give the most effort, I think I'm gifted along with, putting in the effort. So I think just putting in all that work kind of led to my success on the offensive end. Obviously, I got a lot of my points off steals and transitions, kind of where I thrive the most. So, my approach isn't too complicated. I'm not trying to think about too many things. I mean, it was my first college game. It's my first year in college in general. So,
Yeah. So far, just talking about your offensive success a little bit. So far, you've been shooting 75% from the field. Very impressive. So, what parts of your game have been able to contribute to that success?
I mean, I think efficiency has always been a thing of mine. I think I play the right way. Um, Take good shots. I know that's especially in these early stages of my career. I think just like taking the right shot at the right time is really important. I've never really been the type to put up a whole bunch of shots and just get up as many shots as possible. I've kind of just focused on taking good ones, taking the ones that are good for me, and then kind of progress more into when I get a more dominant role, kind of progressing to taking shots that the team may need from me that I may not be taking right now. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my points are coming from around the basket, to be completely honest with you. But no, I'm for sure looking to, as I keep working on extending my range, to kind of incorporate that into my game down the season. But I mean, yeah, I think 75% is just a reflection of the shots I take and then how much I convert when I do get the chance.
Yeah. So, as a freshman, what has been the biggest adjustment, I guess, from coming from high school and going to a really successful program like UCSD?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like almost an inkling of pressure on all of us from the year the previous staff and the team had before. But I mean, just kind of the UCSD culture and all. But coming here is definitely difference. Just D1 college to high school basketball. Like in general. It's different. This faster paced game. Everyone's stronger, faster, more athletic. So I definitely have to like use like kind of my skill and like be smarter than I was in high school. I can't just bully everyone around, which I kind of had my way with my senior year in high school, so, and like pretty much a lot through as I kind of grew and adapted that athleticism. So, but yeah, I'm like learning to be more of a on ball threat, like more of a point guard instead of playing like off the ball and kind of playing like lesser, you know, just like a smaller position, because that's where I'm gonna separate myself, being a really big guard. So I think just all that, more the um, skill and mental side of the game is for sure a
Yeah,
big difference.
got it. And you mentioned before you wanted to improve your range. Is that a specific area you want to improve on, just focusing on that this season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been working on it all summer with the with who I train with. I'm working on it, all fall, just kind of in practice. That's where we're gonna gain the coach's trust to be able to take those type of shots. So I mean, yeah, It's not an overnight change. I'm not going to become a 40% 3-point shooter in one night. So, I mean, it's just getting shots up, kind of gaining that confidence. I think I've gotten like drastically better at it. But yeah, it's definitely a main part of improvement for me that I'm focused on. I mean, in the coming games, coming weeks, I think that's really gonna improve for me and take my game to the next level.
Yeah, just going back to your accolades, at least in high school, you were in first team honors and led your team to a 28-6 record. But out of all the accolades you've had, what stands out to you as the most, just your favorite moment from high school basketball?
Um, Definitely, I think my favorite moment would definitely be the one ring I did get throughout high school, my freshman year. And it was just like a special team got put together pretty much in one year.
Awesome.
You know, that, I mean, the starting five consists of me like a freshman, the transfer from Philly, like a couple, like two or three returners from the year before. So I mean, yeah, it was definitely a special team, but that's definitely that game to win the city championship was a big moment for me. I never felt, winning like on a big stage like that before until then, and to do it my first year of high school was definitely a really special moment. So I'd say that probably be my favorite moment. And, there's obviously others throughout my next 3 years of high school, but getting a ring was for sure my favorite.
Yeah, that must have been awesome. So,
Yeah.
being just you were a McDonald's All American nominee. So, how did that recognition impact your confidence heading into college?
I mean, I think it happened like right before, or maybe like kind of in the fall or start of winter, going into my senior year. So I think it was a cool accolade, but honestly, in my mind, I mean, I didn't get the actual McDonald's All American. So I mean, it was cool while it lasted, but I think it's just fuel for me, to be honest. A lot of the stuff is fuel for me, to where I'm not recognized as much as I think I should be. I'm um, under, underrated, under talked about. So I mean, it was cool, to be kind of named among a lot of the top players in my class. But I mean, it really just puts in perspective to me. I kind of played a lot of those guys who did get McDonald's All American during my senior season. So I mean, yeah, it was just another list for me, to be honest. That kind of put on my board, put in my room to kind of just look everyone who's on the list who did make that McDonald's All American game. I wanted to come after them. So
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Just going back to your dad a little bit, I mean, he was a great player in the NFL. And how did that influence your mindset as an athlete?
I mean, it definitely reflects on my game.
Yeah.
All my teammates will say if there would just be one person play football, it would be me. But so it's kind of like his mindset. His mindset just kind of carried over to me the most, I think.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't play professional basketball or collegiate level, but he played football. So that kind of just, I don't know. I feel like you can draw parallels between the two sports, even though they're completely different. Like just the determination he had. Obviously the physicality. That's a big part of my game now. So I think that carried over a lot. But yeah, everything he's just learned as a professional athlete is like the main thing. Like that's one thing all football, basketball, baseball, all they have in common. Like takes a certain amount of like it takes something that they all have in common to get to that level, which I'm trying to get to. So I definitely take that off of him the most, and kind of just try to pick his brain and listen to him as much as I can because I know he like knows what it takes to get to that like professional like level, winning championships, getting all star like um that kind of like different step.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. So
Yeah.
you said your goal just in general is to make the NBA. What steps are you taking daily for that? Like just to make that dream become a reality?
Um, I mean, I'm just trying to like honestly, in the past couple months especially, I'm just trying to like switch my mindset to try to just do what pros do. Um, I've been trying to I've been like focused on trying to like just take care of my body the most because I mean, you can't do anything if you're not available. So I'm trying to stay healthy. I had an injury in my sophomore year of high school, so that's a big like maintenance thing for me. It's just like that's one of the biggest things I have to take care of my body, or I'm not going to be able to play to my full potential. So that's definitely a main thing. Not tricking off like, oh, I'll just like eat bad, or I'm not going to focus on taking these supplements, these vitamins. Like it all matters to me. So that obviously working on my game as much as I can, and just staying in the gym because I mean, if you don't, you're not going to get any better. But so obviously that's the thing. Developing more of a 3 point shot, all of that, so I can separate myself from other point guards, shooting guards. So I think those three factors, and staying like mentally locked in, mentally like there. I think a lot of people get caught up in the wrong stuff. But and it's a tough game. Like at the end of the day, it's D1 basketball. It's like it could take a toll on you. You're juggling this in school. Like
Yeah.
it's not for everyone for sure. So I think keeping my mental in check, keeping the things the main thing, my priority, but also staying on top of my schoolwork, and I think just juggling everything, and still staying like just having fun at the end of the day. Just always remember I'm still having fun. I think that's really gonna set me up for like the next level, and more stuff even piles on top of that. Playing at a high major school, or there's a bunch of other stuff on top of that as well. Playing at the NBA, it's like it's all gonna pile up, and I think like this is kind of teaching me to handle all that.
Nice. And not only did you say you want to just be in the NBA, but you said you want to start your own business. So, do you have any idea of what business you want to start?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't have any specific, specific, endeavors yet. I know I'm an international business major, so that's kind of the steps I'm taking to pursue that. As the years go on, I'll get to those kind of classes that'll kind of help me with that. But I mean, I know I want to do something, around the kind of culinary aspect of things. I really love food, really love trying food, cooking food, all that. So I think I want to like kind of incorporate those kind of like hobbies of mine into the business aspect of what I want to do after basketball, and even like during while I'm playing, as well. Just kind of be a faceted person. So
Yeah. You mentioned one thing here. You said you really like to cook. What's your signature dish?
everyone asks me that, I'd probably say, at home, I'm not gonna lie, I've not been cooking as much as I said I was. Up like the dining halls, we have too many. So
Yeah, we have a lot too. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just here honestly, just but I cooked like my first meal for real like last night. But when I was home, and like my parents were gone there, they weren't making dinner, I'd probably cook up some like some fried rice and some pot stickers. Pretty easy
Nice.
to put together, yeah.
Yeah. And this is just going just about music a little bit. So like off court interests. So, like what music do you like to listen to before the games? I know you mentioned NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah, I mean, nah, that I'm not gonna lie, that's my goat for
Yeah.
sure. But I think he's definitely a main He's definitely the main guy I listen to, but I'd say I have a pretty I have variety in my music taste. So I listen to some LMA. Actually trying to go to her concert in December, but listen to her, Mariah the Scientist. I actually listen to a lot of people. I listen to old school music too. I try not to keep it just young boy because I can get a little bit. Actually, I can't, but
Yeah.
people can make fun of me for that.
No, no, that's a popular answer. Like the last person I interviewed, he said NBA YoungBoy. So
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
it's popular. Like, how would you say that affects like your pregame routine or like your mindset going into it?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I try. I mean, I try to keep the same routine every game day. So I mean, he definitely before like strictly like right before the game. That's main person I have in my headphones. So he just kind of gets me hype, kind of gets me focused. Kind of just, I mean, I think a lot of the thing about music is it just has swag, and
Yeah,
you gotta play with that, like you gotta play with some swag to kind of be to to have a confident game. So that's definitely the main thing I'm thinking when I'm thinking like who I'm listening to or before my game.
yeah. And one thing, just it said in this in your fun facts, your favorite movie, Major Pain. So, what movie makes that? What stands out to you about that movie?
My dad actually showed it to me when I was like way too young probably to be watching it.
Yeah,
But when I watched, I found it so funny, and
yeah,
I just kept. I think I watched it like 3 times over and over again. Like whenever it's
yeah,
on TV, at night, I'll just turn it on. So I actually need to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a minute, but that would
yeah.
be forever my favorite movie. It was
That's
just
awesome.
probably like the first thing I could remember that actually like had me in tears for a while.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Nice. Now just talking about your leadership a little bit. How would you just like describe your leadership style, especially as a freshman stepping into a bigger role with the team?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult for to be a freshman in general and kind of take over a team full of like older people. Like I'm the youngest on my team, so I'm not gonna come in and obviously be like the dude who tells everyone where to go,
Yeah,
do this, yelling at everyone. It's just not realistic. But I mean, I think a lot of my leadership is gonna come from uh, my high school, and just the discipline I was taught there, and kind of the leadership that I was like kind of like poured into, like how to be a leader. Um, I think, and just the things I was taught that maybe some other people weren't. That I think that's where I can give like the most of my 2 cents on this team and kind of just um, reiterate what the coaches are saying because I think I have like a pretty good grasp on the basics of what kind of goes into how we're gonna win. So I think me just um, me just being like a second voice on the court, it's definitely an area of improvement I'm working on as well to just be more vocal and not you know kind of go within during the games or even practice. So, but yeah, definitely just trying to like reiterate what the coach is saying and try to just do things right. So, um, you know, if someone else is watching me, kind of they could do the same thing.
yeah. And one thing so far, like during your freshman year, what have you learned from, I guess, the upperclassmen on the team so far?
No, I've learned a lot for sure. I mean, Tyson, he's not playing right now. He just he's coming off an injury, but he's been a big help. Coming off of I think, yeah, 4 years of D1 experience. Like that's a big help from that's a guard, which I'm trying to like shape more into, or point guard at least. He's just been in my ear like every practice, during every game. Just kind of giving me tips. Tom coming from Hawaii, he's in his third year of D1 basketball. So like, I mean, just looking at it from the outside in, it's like I've never played a I've or before this, I never played a college game, and these guys have come in and played 2, 3, 4 years of it. And so, like, I would be stupid not to kind of feed off them. And, like, the really good guards, like Emmanuel, like, all these guys have experience at my position, playing at the highest level. So I just try to kind of feed off them and kind of just, learn as much as I can, watch what they do in practice, and just kind of have an open mind. And they're very open about it. Like, they help me with all that. So, and aren't afraid to kind of give me more advice or kind of get on me about the stuff I'm doing. I have no opposition to it. So
Yeah. I have 5 more questions for you. These are more fun questions. One of them is about your teammate. Who's the best teammate to travel with?
to travel with, shoot, I mean, I think I'm roomed with Ryder. So, I mean, yeah, he was my roommate in Fresno. So if they stay the same every road trip, probably have to say him. It's pretty fun. We just be messing around
Yeah.
um, on the road trip. So I mean, everyone's cool. Like, everyone gets along. So everyone knows
Yeah.
when to have fun, when to lock in. But yeah, I mean, I'm I'm roomed with him. So when we're not playing, we gonna we gonna have some fun. So.
Nice. What would you say, like, which NBA player do you think your game resembles the most?
I mean, I think there's a lot of answers to this question. Like, I try
Sure.
to Ant is my favorite
Okay.
player. I try to model myself after his game a lot. Steph is also one of my favorite players. Obviously, I don't think my game resembles him as much, but I take a lot of stuff from. I watch him like every chance I could get. So, but if you ask anyone else on my team, they'll say Russ. I mean,
Yeah.
just even the reporters are like they just say that. So, I mean, obviously I've been around him a lot. I've tried to pick his brain um, about his game, but yeah, athletic, bigger, stronger guard who could get downhill anytime he wants. I mean, that's pretty it's pretty similar. But yeah, I try to pick like from a lot of different players' games. Steph Castle, the Spurs. Like, watch him a whole bunch. So it's
Yeah.
kind of combo guards who can do a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Um, what matchup would you say, like, you have a lot of matchups this year? What's the one you're looking forward to the most?
Definitely, I'd say I'm looking forward to the Nevada game. That's probably one of our better non-conference games that we'll play. So that game, and I know their crowd gets pretty wild. So to play away there, I love that. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's definitely one. This tournament coming up, we play Temple first game. This whole tournament in general, I'm looking forward to. Just
Yeah.
to just I mean three games back to back to back. It's different, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, walk out of there with a championship. So
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. Um,
appreciate it.
and like, what's one thing you would want fans, like, what's one thing you want fans to know about you that they're not gonna find on, like, paper or stat sheets?
No, I mean, in general, I'd just say, I think anyone I talk to, I try to leave a good impression just about being a good person. So being a fun person to be around. Like more than just a basketball player. I try to take that seriously, just being a good person, being kind, and yeah, just definitely just being a man of the people first and foremost. So. I mean, yeah, I think maybe that can't always show up um, on TV or highlights. Even though I try to look like I'm having fun out there while playing. Like I feel like I show a lot of emotion, whether it's smiling, laughing, like getting hyped. So I think that's just the main thing.
Yeah. And one last question for you. Just could you give any advice to people who want to follow a career path like yours?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the main thing is just stay the course. Don't get too down on yourself. I mean, things change. Like there's a lot of there's not a lot of time, but at the same time there is. Like, um, especially college basketball. I mean, it's a long season. It's very easy to overthink, especially in high school. Maybe think like the coach, doesn't like you, or I mean, I think there's special instances, but I think just focus on what you can control, and then a lot of all that stuff is gonna fall in place. I think at the end of the day, if you put in the work, if you like keep your mental straight, and if you do everything you can to put yourself in the best position to succeed, like at the end of the day, like your talent and your hard work is going to show somewhere. Maybe it's not the place you're at, um, but yeah, just stay, you know, just keep the goal the main thing. Just don't overthink too much, because that's a big thing that I went through. Through some high school career, even started this year. So I think it'll all just fall into place. And never be satisfied, honestly, because the minute you get complacent is the minute you stop finding even more success, and that's where you kind of level out. So I'm trying to have the mindset of always like getting better. Always you could do more. Like I haven't been satisfied like since I started playing basketball. Like I always want to get to the next place. So I think if you put those two things together, you'll probably end up in a pretty good place.
Yeah, I one thing that you're saying about overthinking, like a lot of people who I've interviewed, that overthinking has been a very common thing that they've said,
Yeah.
and I think that's very important. Like I overthink myself just about little things, so I can like definitely relate. Not in basketball, just
All
in
right.
general. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, that is it for episode 66 of JK Sports Talk. Hudson, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me, for sure,
Of
man.
course. Make sure to follow our socials all at JK Sports Tech on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X, and here on Spotify. May have already said that, but I'll see you guys. We'll see you guys next time.